Hello, hello. It is Tuesday, March 9th, and we are here once again. I'm Luke Stokes, Managing Director for the Foundation for Interwallet Operability, and I'm joined again by Katie Z, and we're here to talk about FIO, what's been going on this week. How you doing?
Doing great, Working a lot, not getting a lot of sleep. Sorry, everybody.
It's been a little crazy. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on. We actually had an AMA today that I did this morning with Whitebit. I don't know, you helped set that up. And it was kind of neat for they had the channel closed down and I was answering questions, and then they opened up the channel, and I've never seen a Telegram channel. It was like thousands of questions, and I had meetings all day today, stacked the entire day, so I wasn't able to go back, but I do plan to go back and try to find them. I'm curious though, it almost looked like an AMA bot of sorts that was attacking the conversation, but always awesome to talk to people. It was really great to see that level of activity anyway. A lot of people very interested in FIO, so that's always a good thing. So yeah, we got a number of cool stuff to talk about today.
So yeah, that was, sorry I missed that one, but if you're watching this, I know that the Whitebit team is going to be putting together just a recap of the different questions and the answers. That way we can share that and you can read it too and catch up on that too.
Very cool. All right, so I'll go ahead and share my screen. We got a couple different things we wanted to cover today. One of them is just give you a progress update on the FIO Dapp, and this is really important to us. Again, this is our open Confluence page where you guys can follow along as things are happening. All the different resources here are available. It also leads into something that's been worked on quite a bit this week in particular is the functional specifications. So this is kind of the next layer deeper to go from like an idea to something really structured that the developers can start working on. So the front end development has started. And as you can see from the screen here, it's very detailed. We've really thought through, exactly what do these different aspects of registration look like, signing up, all that kind of stuff. And we're thinking about it from a mobile experience as well, mobile first and all that. So very excited to see the functional specs coming together. And then we wanted to show you this as well, which is our actual prototyping setup. So this would be kind of like what the dashboard looks like. And this is, as you click here, you can see it tells you kind of where you can click next. So if I was to click on manage domains, then I could actually go and manage this in particular domain, renew it, make it public, that kind of stuff. And as you can see here, there's quite a bit of work that's been done here, and you can kind of zoom in to check out a very specific section, set it up and see the prototype for it. So let's see if you're creating address, what does that look like? Shows you different domains that you can do that on. So very excited to see this coming together. It's definitely going to make it quite easier for the developers to build it out because we have this functional prototype of how it's actually going to work and how the experience will look. So we've had a team, you can see there's plenty of comments here. I'm not logging in at the moment, but there's many, many comments that the team has been going back and forth, iterating on this design, thinking it through. So yeah, I just want to give you a quick update on that. Also wanted to mention too, we've got some great updates on the wrapped Ethereum stuff. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's really important for a lot of stuff we're doing in the NFT space. But before we get to that, I want to share a little embarrassing moment of what happened to me this weekend. I've been in crypto for more than 8 years, and I'm a technical person. I have a computer science degree, and I really pride myself in having not made crypto mistakes. I'm always double, triple checking my addresses, making sure I send to the right place. This is just on my personal blog. I made a mistake on Friday that almost cost me $1,100. It should have cost me $1,100. I sent 0.023 Bitcoin to the wrong withdrawal address, basically on an exchange. Long story short, I mapped an address and it was down here, and I accidentally used this one from 2017. So I withdrew funds to an address I didn't even know where it was. I didn't have it in my own, if you're using crypto, you are your own bank. So you have to keep track of your own transactions. Obviously, FIO makes that better with FIO memo data, so you can keep track of it on chain. But I use spreadsheets and stuff like that, and it was just really frustrating. Turns out I went through my email and I was able to find the person who I had sent it to from years ago. Oh, sorry, my internet cut out there a little second. But ultimately, they were able to send the money back, and so I saw a notification that I had the money actually sent back to me last night. It was really amazing. I can't believe I didn't lose out on $1,100. But ultimately, I got thinking about this this is exactly why Katie and I and the whole team work so hard on the FIO protocol. We are just so completely focused on trying to solve this problem because that's just unacceptable. I mean, somebody with my level of technical abilities, and I was just killing myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. And it was so frustrating. And I have to tell my wife and everything, yeah, I may have just lost this, $1,100. And it shouldn't be this hard, and I just, again, I'm just very thankful for the individual who was just thankful that I had helped them out years ago with something, and they readily found the currency and sent it back to me. So I got very lucky. I know other situations where that's not the case. Actually, just this weekend, someone in our community here in Puerto Rico, there was $5,000 that should have been, it was USDT sent to a Coinbase address, which doesn't support USDT, and that's a big problem. You have to work through all that drama. And of course, people were very, very frustrated about that. So as we got thinking about this, we actually had a conversation yesterday. And again, one of the reasons for these calls is to kind of get you hearing about some of the conversations we're having with EOS, with the FIO DAC and what we're building behind the scenes, and thinking about how you can participate as a community member. And one of the conversations we're having was around NFTs and the NFT craze that's going on right now. And so it kind of led into a tweet, actually. Let me see if this is, yeah, here we go. I actually tweeted this out, and I saw that, I think that was probably you, Katie, who retweeted it. And it was this idea that if you're an NFT artist, how are you validating all your different collections on these different chains? You might have something on Atomic Hub, on Wax or EOS. You might have something on Rarible over on Ethereum. You might have stuff all over the place. And how are you letting your fans know that you are actually the author of all of this, that this is, your whole collection? And I know that as more and more, I was just reading today about, NFTs on Ravencoin. And I know there's going to be NFTs on all these other smart contract platforms as well. And so we started thinking about this, saying, you want a cryptographically provable way to say, I am the artist behind all these different collections on all these different chains. And this is one of the things that I think FIO is really uniquely positioned to do. And I loved how you put this here, hey, NFT artists, we're calling you out. Like, go ahead and check this out. We want you to know about it. So if you see this tweet, go ahead and retweet it, tag some artists, and let them know, like, hey, there's maybe a solution for you that you should consider. So I think that was kind of the main thing that we wanted to have a little chat about at that conversation.
I think, I keep seeing, because the NFT space is completely on fire right now. And so, I mean, every time you open up any type of crypto news, it's like hitting you right in the face. And yesterday or the other day, there was an article about LeBron James, and he's thinking about it. And so, and I know for a fact that like major conglomerate, like brands that have, high reputations to uphold in like luxury goods and things like that, same thing for them. They're always thinking about, how do I protect my brand, my image, my product, my company, right? What I'm worth is really my name. And how do I protect that from fraud? And, crypto, definitely, the honeypot is sweet. It attracts a lot of people that are trying to, get one over on people all the time. And so I think for artists in this space, depending on like how experienced they are, I know a lot of them, this is new for them, and they are getting to be a part of something that's so cool. So they're not as like accustomed to, say, like a Louis Vuitton company or LeBron James, where your signature is worth so much. And if somebody comes along and just creates a fake signature and then sells it, that devalues him and what he's able to do, right? And so I think that this is going to be something that more and more of the cryptocurrency NFT artists are going to be, starting to understand more. But beyond that too, I think one of the biggest things is the being able to maintain that single identifier across all chains. So wherever your marketplace is, that you're really trying to feel out like where your sweet spot is, or maybe they're everywhere right now because it's all on fire. But I think having that is going to be interesting. And why I wanted to talk about this too is, we had a steering committee call yesterday. It came up loosely in the conversation. So it's super fresh on our minds too, and how we're kind of like trying to put our heads there and think around this. But in a DAC, what I think one of the most beautiful things about decentralization is it's an open call. It's an open invite for everybody to come and get involved. So if you have ideas, or you're seeing things and you know what FIO is capable of, and you're excited and passionate about NFTs, like, let us know what your thoughts are. And it's not to say that we're, necessarily asking for that for free. We have resources. We'd be excited to work with the right people who want to really bring value to the foundation and the FIO protocol. So would love to hear from more people about this because I'm very passionate about it. I've talked about it a couple times. I've been talking about it since day one in crypto. Cultural relevance is that's my shtick. Like cultural relevance, music, art, all of that is how people behave and respond to certain things. I get really energized about that. And so I'm excited.
It's funny you mentioned that. I forgot to bring it up earlier, but my kids actually, my two oldest kids are actually building out NFTs, not only for themselves, but this weekend they got a gig, their first gig, and they're basically starting a little DAC called NFT Builders, and it just has the two of them and I'm their consultant. And they're actually providing NFT building services for someone in the crypto community who needs them done, but doesn't have the time to get it done. So they've literally been uploading videos all day today, and they were downloading them yesterday so they could do this. They're doing it on Atomic Hub, and they've got some other art that they're going to be doing on Rarible, and some other art they're going to be doing on OpenSea. And it's so cool. Like my kids are, they're 11 and 9, and they're figuring this stuff out, and they're doing it at such a level that my friends are like, no, I see what your kids are doing. They know how to do this. I'll pay them to do it. And it's just, to me, it's super exciting. And so I was actually thinking it's probably worthwhile to back up just a little bit and explain to people, why do NFTs even matter? I know a lot of people, even in my own community, that are like, yeah, NFTs are stupid. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Just make a copy of the JPEG. What's the big deal? And one way to think about that is, you can go take a picture of a Mona Lisa, but it doesn't mean that it's as valuable as the Mona Lisa, right? It's all about the story. And I tweeted something about this over the weekend. It's the story behind the value creator that makes something like a non-fungible token. It's all about, well, this person did amazing things. That's why like Jack Dorsey's tweet is, so prized because he built Twitter, which impacted humanity globally in a really amazing way, right? Not everyone's first tweet is obviously that valuable. And the idea with a cryptographically provable signature, and that's ultimately what we get. I have a little forgeries and stuff on baseball cards and things like that. This is a provable cryptographic signature to say one and only one of these exists. It was created by this person only, and this person only is the one who's making it available. And one of the things that I think, as you were saying earlier, not everyone's kind of up to speed with that yet. And these big, long, crazy hashes don't really mean anything meaningful. It's like a barcode. It's like, well, okay, but how is that Banksy, right? Like, how do I know that's really him? And you have other people that have a different big, long barcode of crazy numbers and hashes, and they say, no, I'm really the so-and-so, and this is my Ethereum address, where I have my collection on OpenSea. So it's like, because of the confusion of using cryptocurrency, it almost can defeat the very reason NFTs have value. If you can't easily connect that asset to the actual author, the story, the interesting thing behind that creation. And that's, again, where I think FIO Addresses can provide a lot of value, because then it's actually like, it could be Luke at Stokes, or it could be like NFTs at Stokes, and it can include my whole family's collection, who knows?
Let's take it a little bit further. I can't say which company did this, but it's a major retail brand. Everybody knows it. I was working shoulder to shoulder with them for 4 days, sun up to sundown. And for that product, now it wasn't a digital product, but they were exploring ways that they could incorporate blockchain into what they do. And what we identified is that exactly what you're saying is that story. And so it's a sneaker company, and I don't get it because I'm not part of the sneaker culture, but there's a bunch of sneakerheads that are out there, and it's like they buy these old shoes, and I'm like, okay, I don't get it, but okay. But with the blockchain and with NFTs, you can then create that story to say, okay, so this was like of the first edition or whenever it was, and it went from this person to this person to that person, and you can see that story over time. And you can see other people's stories. So you can see them creating stories too. Anyway, yeah, I get nerdy about this stuff.
Well, that's awesome. I think we've had a good conversation. We'll try to keep these short. So we've covered the Dapp, we've covered, my mistakes and how FIO could make those, not as common, hopefully in the future for everyone else, even those not as technical as I am. And then also NFTs, and how, if you're an NFT artist, please come check out FIO Protocol, get yourself a FIO address, and make sure that your fans are not ever going to be scammed by a copy that is a valid NFT, but it's just not your NFT. And that is a big challenge, where if you have a FIO address, say, hey, look, here's my FIO address. You can go to the blockchain. You can look, here's my Ethereum address. If it doesn't match, it's not really my collection. It's somebody else, So let us know what you think about that. Great to hear from you all. And thanks again for your time, Kitty. And I always enjoy giving updates on FIO. Take care, everybody.
All right. Everyone, take care. Bye-bye.